Once upon a time, two friends joined forces to bring you the best in horror entertainment. Brian from the north, Tim from the south, each bringing their own unique perspective to the horror community. Movie reviews, Blu-ray releases, beer pairings, games, and more. Welcome to your new home for horror. This is Civil Gore.
Hey there, everybody. Welcome to our February Discmemberment of the Civil Gore podcast. I'm your host, Tim.
And this is Brian. And while it's a somewhat shorter Discmemberment this week, it still has the usual characteristics. It's got a film historian or two. It's got some trailers with bubes in it. It's got it all. I think this in the short little compact Discmemberment. It really gives you a bit of everything, though.
Yeah, we got some AKAs in there, so yeah, it's gonna be a good month.
It's kind of like the best of Discmemberment.
Yeah,
but not really with best of titles, you know.
But yeah, so at least you don't have to listen to suffer through 2 hours of us like you have the past few months.
Yeah,
this one should be fairly quick. So let's get right into it. This is our Blu-ray release list for February 2nd. And first up from Funimation Entertainment, we have Shin Godzilla, just in time for the new Kong vs. Godzilla movie.
Now, is Shin Godzilla just his shins? Is that what it is? Or is
yeah, you only see him from the knee up.
Yeah,
or the knee down.
Yeah, this is what I did. One we wanted to see. I think this appeared like we talked about this on an episode previously. I don't think it was a disc release. It was something else, but it did come up, and I remember both of us being excited for this.
And I couldn't tell if this was a re-release or the first. I have to believe it's a re-release because it's from 2016. So, but I just went ahead and put it on there anyway because Godzilla is kind of relevant to pop culture right now. But I'll go through the synopsis here. It's a peaceful day in Japan when a strange fountain of water erupts in the bay, causing panic to spread among government officials. At first, they suspect only volcanic activity, but one young executive dares to wonder if it may be something different, something alive. His worst nightmare comes to life when a massive gilled monster emerges from the deep and begins tearing through the city, leaving nothing but destruction in its wake.
That's one of our buzz phrases we love.
Oh yeah, destruction in its wake. As the government scrambles to save the citizens, a ragtag team that's another good one. A ragtag team of volunteers cuts through a web of red tape to uncover the monster's weakness and its mysterious ties to a foreign superpower. But time is not on their side. The greatest catastrophe to ever befall the world is about to evolve right before their very eyes. I really need to see this because this is like a true good Godzilla reboot.
Yeah, and they reboot it I think it's with better effects, but it's like the old school Godzilla look, right? From what I saw in the trailer.
It is. Yeah. So, yeah, the trailer looks really, really cool, and it does have a couple special features on here. Godzilla versus the Nerds interview and trailers.
Is that the band The Nerds that I love so much, or does that just mean, like, the Nerds?
Maybe it's just like candy. It's Godzilla eating nerds.
Oh, that would be interesting. They'd have to be big ones, like boulder-sized versions, I guess, for him.
Yeah.
You know? Speaking of that, actually, I read an interesting article. It was... just to go a little off topic, but, because you mentioned Godzilla vs. Kong... And leave it to the internet already, like, basically to start, like, questioning things about a movie that hasn't even come out yet. But I guess some people brought up, and I forgot what site did it, and I apologize if that site happens to listen. They say, hey, we said that. But whatever it was is I guess the site was explaining that people were complaining. They're like, well, I don't understand how Kong is the size of Godzilla anymore and all that. And they went back to show how good that the MonsterVerse has been setting this up. They went back to the Kong Skull Island to John C. Reilly's character's lines where he said he was describing it and he says, "Oh yeah, Kong's out there, it's good and he's growing and you want him to because you don't want that big creature to wake up, whatever it is, the big crawler." And so he basically set it up that Kong was very young at the time of Skull Island, and it's 20 years later supposedly from Skull Island, so they basically set up that he was growing. So this Kong is in this universe is supposedly now at full size to battle Godzilla. So the 250 or 350 feet of Godzilla is like matched now by Kong's size because of that setup, which I thought was pretty interesting. And
that is pretty cool. Well, they were thinking ahead for sure.
Yeah, they really thought this through, which shows that, like, granted, I know you weren't so thrilled with the second Godzilla movie, but it shows that at least this monsterverse they're trying to create was planned ahead, which I like. So
well, I think I'm gonna like it. I said on the last show I didn't finish it, so I think I'm gonna like it more knowing that Kong versus Godzilla is coming out. Like I think I'm gonna enjoy it more.
I mean, it wasn't bad. I think it was I think I liked the first one better, and and this one was. I mean, it wasn't so. I think there was just a lot of some weird little subplots that kind of made it a little bit. It feel like I filled a little bit too much. And plus you had the other monsters in it. So, there's a lot going on in this, and I think maybe that's why it didn't do as well as, and by fans, I guess, as the other one. But it's not bad.
Speaking of getting off topic even more, speaking of Godzilla, did you see the deep fake they did with Millie Bobby Brown as Princess Leia?
No, but I heard that people were trying to get her to play young Leia.
It looks amazing. Somebody did a deep fake of her face mapped to Princess Leia in Star Wars. It is amazing.
Oh wow!
You need to go track that down. It's really, really cool. Yeah, I can understand why when I saw that deep fake.
Yeah, well, it's the same thing with how they want Sebastian Stan to take over young Mark Hamill, and it's you look at it and you're like, oh, I kind of see it, but then when they put him in I saw pictures of him when they put him in Luke's outfits and hairstyle. I'm like, oh wow, that does look really close.
Yeah.
Now I see it.
All right, what's up next here, Brian?
Next, well, the next two we need to skip because they're our picks of the week, which, yes, surprising. We differ, actually, a number of times this short month. This just shows how weird this month is.
Yeah.
But next one is one that I saw, I watched during our horror challenge this year, and it was one of my, actually, favorites of my challenge that I watched. And that's Random Acts of Violence. Of course, it's by RLJ Entertainment. It was on Shudder. It was one of the Shudder originals. It was a Jay Baruchel vehicle. Where he directed and starred in it. It's got a cool premise, Tim, that I know you'll like, and I know you want to see this, so I think you'll like it. It's basically a pair of comic book writers begin to notice scary similarities between the character they created and horrific real-life events. A lot of good gore. It's up for a Chainsaw Award, I think, for makeup effects in there. I forgot which one. I'm not 100% sure, but this one was really good. I'm kind of glad that it... I wish I had a little more special features, but, an interview with Jay Baruchel is pretty good. So if you haven't seen this is a good one. It's really, it's quick, too. I think it's just under, one of those hour-and-a-half movies that move really well, and it's got a lot of good gore, a lot of cool sequences, and I think Jordana Brewster does a really good job in it, too. So she's always pretty good, but I think she does a really, really good job in this one.
Nice, yeah. That one looked really... Actually, I liked the premise when I read it, but I liked it even more after I saw the trailer. I thought it looked really, really good.
Yeah, and I think it's still on Shudder, too, by the way, if you need to check it out.
Oh, cool. So next up from MPI Media Group, we have Sky Sharks from 2018.
This has been all over
on
Twitter. It's been on... They keep, Dark Sky keeps, showing it.
I keep seeing Facebook ads for it and everything else. Deep in the ice of the Antarctic, a team of geologists uncover an old Nazi laboratory still intact where dark experiments had occurred. In order to conquer the world, the Nazis created modified sharks who are able to fly and whose riders are genetically mutated undead superhumans. A military task force called Dead Flesh 4, reanimated U.S. soldiers who fell in Vietnam, is put together to prevent world downfall.
I think I saw them in concert, Dead Flesh 4 once.
I mean, this is just as ridiculous looking as you might think, but it's got a really good cast. It's got Naomi Grossman, it's got Tony Todd, it's got Amanda Beers, it's got Dave Sheridan.
He's great in everything, so he's gonna be great in this.
Yeah, so it just looks insane. I guess if you like movies like Sharknado and stuff, this would be right up your alley. I kind of want to see it just because it looks so just bonkers.
Oh yeah, no, this is total that Sci-Fi Channel material, I mean, literally it's one step up from a sharks with lasers, it's literally it's flying sharks in the sky. Just in the trailer alone, the one sequence where the little girl's on the plane, she goes, "Daddy, I see a shark flying through the cloud," and it's it's just it pretty much in the trailer gives you a taste of everything you'd think you'd see in this movie. They kind of tease that you will, and that's not a bad thing, because I think this is one of those movies that you should, you just watch for pure enjoyment. Obviously don't criticize the premise because you obviously have what is wrong with your life if you're going to sit there and critique that as like a factual and inaccuracy. I mean, come on, just go. I want to see this. This looks fun. This looks like it's probably like, I almost wish it was like had what like where Sharknado used to premiere and people would tweet along. Like, I wish they would have done it with this.
Yeah.
I think that would be fun. Maybe this is something we need to look at to do one of our commentaries. We need to bring our commentaries back. I know people have been asking for them. We still owe Cody Velocipaster. So I think we need to do maybe we'll have to do this one because I think this would be a fun one to watch together and then do a commentary on it. Next one's by Kino Lorber and it's Dark Intruder. And it's an occult expert is brought in by police to help solve a series of murders in which a mystical statue is left at each crime scene. Brett Kingsford is on the case until he discovers a mysterious connection between the victims in this gothic horror tale. I always laugh when the description gives a name as if we're supposed to know who he is. But this is like an old school, like, it's funny. You look at this thing, it almost sounds like something that would be like from the 70s, like almost like a Giallo kind of thing,
Yeah.
But it's not. It's a Leslie Nielsen vehicle from 1965.
But you know what? He still looks old. Like not old, not like elderly, but he still looks like mature, even in 1965.
Yeah, I think he was born with an adult head. I'm convinced because he never changed.
No, he
Just
looks
his hair
like
color.
he literally looks like if it was other than it being in black and white.
Yeah,
you could kind of just squint your eyes. He looks like he stepped right out of Naked Gun. I mean, he really does. He does not look that much younger.
Yeah, he's like the dream of filmmakers, because if, like, God forbid they ever had a series of films that they needed to put him in, they could literally have his entire career to digitally add him in without any other effects.
But when you were watching this trailer, I'm sorry, but Naked Gun and Airplane have ruined Leslie Nielsen for me. Like, I cannot see. I'm expecting a punchline every time I see his face on the screen.
Well, the only reason, and I think, because, okay, granted, the guys had, before Airplane, he actually had, like a career,
Mm-hmm.
It's like
believe it or not, he actually had
that's the funny thing. He had a career where it was actually a serious, an actor. So it's kind of funny to know. Like, I mean, like, in all honesty, the first thing I ever saw him in was a serious role in the Poseidon Adventure when I was a kid. So I don't, like, when I saw him later on, it didn't register to me. He registered to me on the radar from Airplane, not the Poseidon Adventure, which shows the kind of talent he is. But it also shows that brilliant casting of someone who, is known for his serious roles, and then you put him in a zany comedy, you could get magic, and look what happened, so good job by the Zuckers. So yeah, look at that. I mean, so it's so funny. You're right, though. You almost want him to say, like, thanks, but don't call me Shirley, in every line. You're right. But this actually has an audio commentary on it, by the way, Tim. Did you see?
I did. I thought this was a new one until I went back and referenced Cody's sheet and realized we had already talked about this.
Yes, Cody's sheet again. Thank you again, Cody. But I tell you, I read through those and it just cracks me up because she writes them so eloquently as we spoke them, and it's like I think she even adds like a little like tidbits, like her little comment, like great impersonation on it. So it's like she does the funniest thing, but it just makes me laugh when I read them back, saying, I'm like, oh my God, where did we come up with this stuff? Because it's such a detail. And in case you're remembering who he is, well, we'll read to you his description. So he's as cool as they come. We didn't even give his name. It was Gary Girani, and he's as cool as they come, basically. And he walks into the room and everyone goes to him because he's just that cool, And he likes to go by Double G or GG, so to speak, and then he wears open-chested velour top, so his perfectly coiffed chest hair can have its moment to shine. He commands the room from his personality to his chest hair, and he's obviously a ladies' man.
Yeah, we have a lot of those actually in the film critic world, of our film critics that are kind of the cool ladies' men with a lot of chest hair guys.
Yeah, I don't know what that
means. Seems to be a recurring
means.
theme.
Yeah, I don't know what that means. I liken it to the fact that I think we just hold our film historians in such high regard, so we make them these heroes to us.
I guess, yeah. All right, so next up is one I am so looking forward to. I almost made this my pick of the week, except we had two that were like we could not pass on pick of the week.
Yeah.
So this one is from Kino Lorber, The Great Alligator from 1979. You know how I love my alligator movies, Brian.
Yes, I do.
Because I was traumatized by alligators when younger. So, tourist on a tropical island anger an island god who turns himself into a giant alligator and stalks them. And this kind of looks like Cannibal Holocaust meets alligator, but they keep asking if it's a crocodile. I'm like, why do they keep asking if it's a crocodile if it's an alligator in the movie?
I know, and it's not like it's like people that weren't in the movie asking that. I could get that. But like, you read the script, people. Why are you questioning it? You should know. And the movie's called The Great Alligator. Don't you know what movie you're in? You know,
it's so weird. But anyway, it looks actually really good. I mean, it looks entertaining. So,
plus, it's got vintage Barbara Bach in there. You know, so that's kind of cool.
I don't know. I just thought it looked really good. I don't know for sure, but I'm gonna track this one down and try to watch it.
I would totally watch this.
Some good extras here too. Previously remastered from the original camera negative in 2016. An interview with underwater camera operator Gian Lorenzo Battaglia.
Oh, I forgot to tell you, Tim. I may have a surprise for you. I actually uncovered a clip of that interview, and he, and basically someone asked him. The clip is they asked him, what it was like underwater. Being an underwater camera operator. And he said, "It's great." So, that's that for you.
Yeah, the whole interview is just...
it's filled with bubbles.
Round table discussion with SFX Paolo Ricci, cinematographer Giancarlo Ferrando, and art director Massimo Antonello Gilling.
It shouldn't be... there's three of them. Shouldn't there be like a triangle table,
The round table reminds me of a little historic fact I heard the other day. Do you know what the least expected knight of King Arthur's Round Table was?
No.
Surprise.
Oh God! I walked right into that one. Oh my God! That's gonna go in the dad joke channel, the
yes.
Fox and the Foxhound.
Yeah, it has to. Interview with camera operator Claudio Morabito. In the crocodile's nest. I thought it was an alligator.
And do crocodiles have nests?
Yeah, they do, but
oh,
still.
They do actually?
Yeah, they lay eggs.
Oh,
like
yeah,
chickens.
I guess you're right. Yeah, okay. I guess anything with an egg, right?
I mean, they can't even the extras can't figure out if this is a crocodile or an alligator.
Yeah, there's no hope for ever discovering what this film is.
In the crocodile's nest. Interview with director Sergio Martino and art director Massimo Antonello Gilling. Theatrical trailer. So yes, that one looks fun. Yeah. All right, that brings us to our picks of the week, and Brian takes my pick of the week, and I take his pick of the week. So this should be fun.
Yes. So Tim's isn't one that as much as I love this film, the only reason I'm not when you hear my pick of the week, you'll know why I didn't pick it. But of course, this is. I mean, either one of these two. I mean, they're both movies that I've already pre-ordered, so it's. I mean, technically, they could both be my picks of the week anyway. But the first one, which is Tim's official pick of the week, is from RLJ Entertainment, and that is a little movie you might have heard of this summer. Kind of had a little bit of buzz going, and that's Host from, of course, this year, 2020. And in case you've been living under a horror rock, it's 6 friends hire a medium to host an online seance during a lockdown, but they get far more than they bargained for as things quickly begin to go wrong. And that medium, of course, we got to do a special project with.
That's right. That's really cool.
Thanks to Jeff Whitmire. But this is a no-brainer. I only wish that we were getting that limited edition version that the UK is getting. Makes it like I'm literally was combing to see if I can get a cheap region-free Blu-ray player just so I could get this edition because it has so many other extras on it.
Yeah.
But this one has some decent ones actually for a Shudder release because most of the Shudder releases that come out really don't have many extras on it. Especially this movie, maybe because they figure it's like okay, it's only under an hour, and they need to pack a little bit of extras on it. So it's got a behind the scenes of Host, Bloody Disgusting presents the Boo Crew podcast Host episode, and Seance with the cast of Host and crew of the film. So you get a bonus seance there. And I think I've seen a clip of that. I think they posted some of it on line before. And Of course, we got the pleasure early on of getting to talk to Jed Shepard and Haley Bishop, of course, a star and one of the writers of that movie, and that was a really fun time. They're really cool people, and they turned us on. Thanks to Haley, she turned us on to that. What was that bizarro like puppet thing that gave us nightmares?
Yes, I'm drawing a blank.
Oh, yeah, I'm not afraid or something. Or
Right,
are you scared?
Yeah.
Oh my God! What?
Don't hug me, I'm scared.
Oh yeah, don't hug me, I'm scared. Yeah. Which, oh my God, you guys got to look that up when you get a chance.
It's nightmare inducing. It really is.
Yeah, because it starts so whimsical, like it's a children's show, and then just always by the end something goes horribly wrong and you're scarred.
Yeah, it's oh my God. I even showed the kids that. I probably shouldn't have showed them that. They really
it was because Haley had the cool shirt from it.
And the songs are so catchy though. That's what
they are.
They're like catchy, but in an eerie way. It's really bad.
It's really really weird. But really definitely
bad
check it out.
in
It's
a
on
good way.
YouTube. You can watch all the episodes. You can watch it all in one session. In all honesty, they're pretty short.
All right, so Brian's pick of the week is also from RLJ Entertainment, and I guess they do a lot of the Shudder.
I
Shudder
think
stuff.
they do pretty much Shudder's releases.
Yeah. And that is Horror Noir, A History of Black Horror from 2019. Just a fantastic documentary. Delving into a century of genre films that by turns utilized, caricatured, exploited, sidelined, and finally embraced them, Horror Noir traces the untold history of Black Americans in Hollywood through their connection to the horror genre. Adapting Robin Means Coleman's seminal book, Horror Noir will present the living and the dead using new and archival interviews from scholars and creators, the voices who survived the genre's past trends to those shaping its future. And this is definitely a must. Even though it's your pick of the week, Brian, it's definitely one that I'm planning to add to my collection as well. It's just a fantastic documentary.
Yeah, I mean, that's how we knew about Eve's Bayou was mentioned in that doc. And so we, it kind of put that on our radar, so.
Yeah, and there was another great one that I learned about, which was Ganja and Hess.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And that was just a crazy movie. That's a really... one of those I would have just never seen if not for this documentary, and I absolutely loved it. It became one of my favorites. So I would highly recommend looking this up because you're probably going to run across some films that you have not seen or heard of before that are really going to be outstanding. So very good pick, Brian. All right, so let's recap the week of February 2nd. We had Shin Godzilla from 2016, Random Acts of Violence from 2019, Sky Sharks from 2018, Dark Intruder, a Leslie Nielsen vehicle from 1965, The Great Alligator, or is it a crocodile, from 1979, my pick of the week, Host from 2020, and Brian's pick of the week, Horror Noir, A History of Black Horror from 2019.
And by the way, both those, what's good about the Shudder releases, they're always so affordable. I think Host is like $12, and I think Horror Noir is like $19. So it's good prices on those.
All right, so that brings us to the week of February 9th. This is also one of the longer weeks, or one of the more packed weeks of the month. The final 2 weeks in February are really short. But this one, only thing I'll mention up front is there is a My Bloody Valentine steelbook coming out, of course, to take advantage of Valentine's Day. But that's nothing new there. It's just a steelbook edition.
But such a great movie. One of my favorites of all time.
Yeah, it really is. So first up, besides our pick of the week, which we'll get to in a minute, is one that I really, really want to see. It's from Shout Factory, and it's called Sputnik. Came out last year. USSR 1983, Soviet cosmonaut Konstantin Veshnyakov brings an alien creature back to Earth concealed within his own body. In a secret laboratory situated in a military base closed off from the rest of the country, neurophysiologist Tatiana Klimova tries her best to save the cosmonaut from the alien monster. Meanwhile, she discovers that she feels much more than just a professional interest in her patient. And I know we've seen this premise quite a bit before, but
Yeah.
I really liked the trailer. The trailer looked really interesting, and it looked like, it didn't feel like a clone of a premise we've seen countless times before. I thought it looked really entertaining.
Yeah, and this too is up for a Chainsaw Award for it's up for best foreign film. So this was on our radar to watch anyway, so that's pretty good.
Cool.
Next one is Full Moon Features. This also, I think this is already out. This is just another version of it.
Yeah,
because I picked up the other version with the Slauson figure. I mean, who doesn't want a Chuck Connors figure? Come on. And it was oh my God, it was like $20, and you got like that big oversized VHS copy, an action figure, and the uncut version on Blu-ray, which I think this is still that version. I think it's just re-released again. And
we're speaking of Tourist Trap, by the way.
Yeah, sorry, Tourist Trap uncut. I should have mentioned that from 1979. That's one that Tim and I both loved. We did that. Joe Bob did it. I think that was his first. Joe Bob's first return ever to Shudder, right, on the marathon. And I think he began with Tourist Trap, if I'm not mistaken, for that first marathon. And for those who don't know this classic movie, one, you need to watch it immediately. It's just one of those great ones. But anyway, it's a group of young friends stranded at a secluded roadside museum are stalked by the owner of the place, who has the power to control his collection of mannequins. So this is one of those ones you can't tell, like, if he's like got just good special effects, or he's actually got some kind of control, or he's got some weird other kind of powers. But this one is just such a classic, and it's like one of those ones that, like, I don't know anyone that's seen it that didn't like it.
I will say, I discovered it fairly late. This is not one I watched when I was growing up. I discovered this one really late in life, but it became one of mine. Like, I would probably put it in my top 10. I love it that much, and every time I see it, I actually like it more.
Yeah, so. I might it might be up, right? I don't know if it's in my top 10. It's probably definitely my top 20 for sure, though. But yeah, because it is that good, and it's got sadly rest in peace, Tanya Roberts in there. But it's just got like this, just so many cool things that I think were really like ahead of its time. At some level for the way they did.
Ahead. Like this one, you would feel like should have come out in mid to late 80s.
Yeah,
at the minimum, because it was using a lot of the classic slasher tropes that came later, like a mystery of who the killer is, and a lot of things that just were I mean, Motel Hell was kind of like that for me as well.
Yeah,
because Motel Hell was 1980, and it also felt like way ahead of its time.
Another one of my like favorite films too. So it's like,
right,
yeah. There's a lot of that. There was that time. I said nothing was like that time period, I swear, between that like late 70s to late 80s of life. I mean, think of like those David Weiner's 2 documentaries on that. It's 8.5 hours. No, sorry, 9 hours of content, and there's still things that you could still cover. So, I mean, that shows how great that time period was. But anyway, this disc has a couple of little extras on there. It's an interview with David Schmoller, audio commentary with David Schmoller, and rare trailers. So,
yeah. But like Brian said, you can get this, you can get other editions of this movie. That's why I didn't make our pick of the week. But yeah, if you don't have Tourist Trap, it's definitely worth picking up.
Yeah, I mean, and it's like hard for me to pick of the week when I already own it, and I own that like good version with the figure in it, and too. I got to take a picture. I don't think I ever took a picture for our social media to show my little Slauson figure.
Yeah. All right. So next up is going to be Brian's pick of the week. God. This is from VCI. It is Santo in The Treasure of Dracula, the Sexy Vampire.
You couldn't give me the next one to guess?
No. No. I almost did, but then that just seemed too easy. But this is also known as Santo en el Tesoro de Dracula.
You know what I keep thinking of, Tim? What am I thinking of when I look at this? It kind of has a little a play to one of our favorite non-horror films that we like to talk about.
Oh my gosh, I don't know. I was distracted by the Mexican name, which is El Vampiro y el Sexo.
Oh yeah. Well, no, I'm thinking of when I see Santo, I'm like Mr. Santos. Know, from Ernest Saves Christmas, of course.
Oh yeah. Funny.
But okay, so Santo in The Treasure of Dracula. Santo in The Treasure of Dracula, sexy vampire. Oh my God. I mean, yeah, the obvious, but I know Tim would not have picked this if there wasn't some weird, bizarro, like, nonsensical, like, description based of this. Dracula, the sexy vampire. It's like, I don't know. I assume maybe it's a group of people that are hunting for a treasure and they somehow come across Dracula's coffin, and I don't know. They think he's sexy.
No.
Yeah.
So you were close, though. You were close. Actually, by close I mean you were completely wrong. The Mexican wrestler El Santo invents a time machine After somebody uses the machine to find the hidden location of Dracula's treasure, El Santo must hunt down the vampire. And the sexy part comes in because there's full frontal nudity for the European version.
Oh.
So they made a black and white.
It actually says that? It says that in the description? Or you saw the trailer?
No, I was reading the trivia, but there was a black and white version that had no nudity. And then they shot one fully in color that had full frontal nudity. And that was the one that was released in 2012 in Mexico as El Vampiro y El Sexo.
That sounds like such a fact Joe Bob would come up with. Like he would know that.
But apparently this Santo is in like a lot of these. He's a Mexican wrestler, but he's in like tons of horror movies. And there's Santo versus the Vampire Women.
So he plays himself?
Yeah. He's like a crime-fighting wrestler that fights the supernatural, which to me sounds really awesome.
Yeah, well now I'm like mad that I got it. I was so off. So that's if for us, like back in the day, if like Hulk Hogan fought somebody, like it was
you got Santo and Blue Demon versus the Monsters, Santo and Blue Demon versus Dracula and the Wolfman.
Is Blue Demon his like tag team champion partner?
I think so. Yeah, I don't know. It looks. Somebody put Santo is the greatest wrestler, crime fighter, scientist ever. I want to see this because I like the.
What's
Paul
the
Nash
pool
stuff.
that he got called for that? Like, how many others are there that qualify? It's like.
Yeah, I don't know. That just sounds cool to me.
I don't know, but that sounds like something from Kim and Ket. Remember, like, because Kim's always, she's never these scientist things. That running joke she has, which cracks me up every time I hear it. But yeah, no, they. I want to know who's his competition for those things. If he's the best, he's got to have someone at least one other person he must have bested, right? That's the rule. Can't be the best if you're the only.
No features on this one that I could find.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this is why I asked Tim for the next one, because this title seems a lot more straight cut towards what's really happening in here, and that's but from another Full Moon Features one, which, by the way, Full Moon again, they are one of the best companies, because I think I put it on Instagram. How they gave you like a free mask when you ordered your purchase, which is cool. So I got 2 Blu-rays and a free mask, and it's just a random one. You don't know which one you're getting, but they're decent quality masks. They're like the good ones with the little the adjustable straps on them.
Mm-hmm. So and I got I was really excited because I got a Puppet Master one.
Nice. I forgot what was mine again. It was like a
Dolls.
Mouse.
You got Dolls. Yeah.
Oh, I got Dolls.
That's a good movie too. If you've never seen it.
That's right. I got Dolls. Okay. So anyway, this one is Naked Girl Killed in the Park, from 1972. My birth year, no less, too.
I was not looking forward to putting that into my search for YouTube.
Yeah, because
I didn't know what I was going to pull up.
Well, if you're in like the New York area, that comes up as headlines more than you'd want it to. But yeah, so this one is one of the 3 female murder suspects has the misfortune of learning the killer's identity, and that's your description.
Nice. But Brian, this one has tons of theme park stuff in it.
Yeah, like even like a roller coaster maiming sequence, it looks like, which looks pretty good. And there's a dark ride sequence from what I saw really quickly. So, yeah, this looks like right up our alley here. Now, is this on? I can't remember. Maybe this is already on the Full Moon app.
I'm going to look it up because I know
I want to say I've seen it before.
Yeah, a lot of almost everything I've seen them releasing on disc that we've gone through our Discmemberment has been on their streaming service.
Yeah, and
I think they put just about everything.
And they have so many titles on there. I mean, it is massive.
They have some good stuff. I've actually been watching quite a bit of their stuff. Like I've watched some of the silly ones, like the Barbie and Kendra movies.
Oh, yeah.
And they're still funny because they do like if you guys have not seen them, the Barbie and Kendra character is just kind of silly, but they have the bulk of the movie is they take an older film, like obscure film, and then they like do their own dubbing over it, kind of Mystery Science Theater 3000 style, but they're actually dubbing over the dialogue, and it's pretty hilarious. So check those out if you got the Full Moon service. No extras on this one, unfortunately, either, but I'm going to track that one down. If that one's on the streaming site, I'm going to definitely watch it.
Yeah, I definitely want to check that one out, especially because of the theme parky stuff.
All right, next up we got one from Mondo Macabro. This is Panic Beats from 1983. I've got to see this one. The spirit of a deceased knight returns every 100 years to clean a house by graphically murdering the women who are making the life of his descendants unbearable, which...
I mean, personally, I'd use a broom, but,
Yeah, murdering people is not the best way to clean a house, technically, but...
Yeah. Oh, well, no, because then you have to hire Zelda Rubinstein to come in and go, the house is clean.
Yeah.
So,
true.
yeah, you need the... That's like a double cleaning, basically. But this I can't believe now that I see this that this was 83. This thing looks like it was from the 60s from the trailer.
Well, yeah, it is a Paul Naschy vehicle, but I will have to say, having gone through my Paul Naschy box sets, as much as I love his movies, seeing him as a skeletal knight, it was like one of the highlights. So I've got to check this out. It does have a brand new 4K transfer from the film negative, 2 interviews with Paul Naschy, and an audio commentary from the Naschy Cast podcast, which I think I'm gonna have to go check that one out because I've really loved those box sets that I've gotten. I actually have not gone through the second one completely yet, but there's some good stuff there.
And this is one of those ones where we can't begrudge them for choosing the Naschy Cast as their podcast of choice to accompany the disc. I could see why they may have a little bit more edge over the Naschy world than we do, but and it looks like there's a lot of great gore in that from the trailer. And it's funny, the trailer is like one long extended scene, it looks like, and then a couple of quick like cuts of other scenes, and then back to the long extended scene. But it does its purpose and makes you want to see it. Next one again is from Mondo Macabro. Wouldn't it be fun? Did we ever discuss like how they actually probably say it? I think we did, right? They probably imagine the real people are like Mondo Macabro.
Yeah, Mondo Macabro.
Mondo Macabro. Or maybe it's like an accent like Mondo Macabro. We don't know. Like that like long drawn out McConaughey.
Mondo Macabro.
Yeah, we have no idea how they say that. We'd love someone to actually say it, but anyway. They are releasing The Queens of Evil from 1970. A young hippie kills a man and seeks refuge at the lakeside house of 3 beautiful sisters who seem to be hiding a dark secret. It's another, 3 women thing there from the other one. So this one, this has got an interesting trailer complete with neck mouth, emerald boob, and gungina. So you can watch the trailer for yourself to get all those visuals. I'm not going to describe them in any more
The amount
detail.
of hair, giant hair in this movie is incredible. I actually was wondering if their evil was proportional to the size of their hair.
It might be because this was an odd one. So this one's got a 4K transfer from the film negative, an interview with Ray Lovelock, which has got to be this guy's porn name. And it's got an audio commentary from Kat Ellinger and Sam. I don't know if it's Deegan or
Deegan. I want to say Deegan.
Deegan, yeah, Deegan. Deegan. Yes, and so Kat has no impression because she was grandfathered in, but Sam Deegan, though, he's Sam with 2 M's, and the second M stands for mime, and the movie's represented solely by physical representation inside a glass box. And he recently discovered to be a woman. That's right. God, I did it wrong. Oh my God, I did it wrong again. Yes, she's Sam with 2 M's. Sorry, Sam, again. As I highly doubt you're listening, but that's right.
And now you know why we never get offered commentaries. We've been
exactly. And this is why
every film critic.
Tip for Cody: next time you update, can you put that line first? But anyway, when she introduces herself, she always says, "I'm nice to meet you. I'm Sam with 2 M's," and holds up 2 fingers to illustrate, which I just did as if anyone's looking. When she teams up with Kat, the second M stands for magical.
Nice.
And it might be murder, as in me, because I misrepresented her yet again. But okay.
Poor Sam. All right.
I know.
All right, so next up from Code Red, we have Devil's Express, a.k.a. Gang Wars from 1976. Warhawk Tanzania plays an urban Afro-American who hates the gang warfare all around him. In desperation, Tanzania summons a demon from the subway system to purge his neighborhood of punks.
That's where all those demons are hiding in the...
Unfortunately, the demons are uncontrollable, resulting in the deaths of several innocent people. And if you look at this trailer, I didn't see any demons in it whatsoever. It's just
I didn't see it at all.
like 70s blaxploitation film. So I'm putting it in there on the basis that there's demons in here. So if there are no demons,
yeah, but
it
looks cool though either way. But
it does look cool. It looks like it looks like that kind of that whole genre of the 70s where you have all these gangs fighting each other.
Those are kind of fun, like
streets
the
of New York.
Warriors, but supposedly with demons that aren't shown in the trailer.
Yeah.
So that's
no extras other than the 2K restoration and trailers.
Next one is by Code Red, and that is Devil Times 5. And I think they say that a few times in the trailer. It says 5 extremely disturbed sociopathic children escape from their psychiatric transport and are taken in unwittingly by a group of adult villagers on winter vacation. That's it. What? Adult villagers on winter vacation? I don't understand why they're villagers then. Wouldn't villagers kind of imply that they are living in said village, that they are?
Yeah, I think when they're outside of the village, are they not tourists?
Aren't they just tourists? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, whatever. I don't know. Now I'm just nitpicky. Anyway, this looks kind of cool, actually, though. I love when they say a piranha, too, which is says that, but it looks like a kind of like a rough movie, though. It's cool in a good way, though. It looks kind of fun.
I want to see it because it's a birth year movie. So 1974, I gotta watch this one.
Yeah, and so it was previously restored in 2K from the original camera negative in 2016. It's got an audio commentary by actors Joan McCall and Dawn Lynn with producers Mickey Blowitz. That just sounds like a fake person, like a joke,
That's his poor name.
Mickey Blowitz, did he or not? Yeah. And Dave Sheldon, and moderated by Darren Gross. Featurette with actors Tier Turner. I guess like Pierre, but with a T, so it's Tier Turner, Joe McCall, Dawn Lynn, and producer David Sheldon. It's got some bonus interviews and a theatrical trailer, which is probably the one we saw.
Very nice. All right. So our last one before we get to our picks of the week is another one from Mondo Macabro, and it's Blood Ceremony, a.k.a. The Legend of Blood Castle from 1973. The aging countess discovers that the blood of a maid can temporarily restore her youth and great beauty. She falls in love with a dashing young soldier, but is compelled to kill again and again to maintain her attractiveness and prevent the secret getting out. And this one it's really not like a horror movie as much as it is a dramatization of Elizabeth Bathory's life. So, they even say that in the trailer.
Yeah.
So I don't know how much true horror this is other than horror from a historical perspective. And I've listened to a lot of podcasts on her, and there's really a lot of speculation that most of the stuff about her life was not true, and most of it's myth and other things that were generated over the years to discredit her. So I would, being that this was from 1973, I'd be highly doubtful in the accuracy of this dramatization, but it looks okay. It's got some brand new 4K transfer from the original negative, a fully cut international version, and an alternate Spanish version, digitally restored, 2 archive interviews with director Jorge Grau, trailers, and an audio commentary from Troy Howarth and Nathaniel Thompson. And as you know, these are in almost every month. We have these guys who turn into Muppet versions of Statler and Waldorf when they get together to do an audio commentary.
Yes.
So they are the dynamic duo. And then we also have an audio commentary from Robert Monell and Rod Barnett.
And Rod Barnett is from the Nashi cast, or whatever the Nashi is. What's it called? The Nashi cast?
Nashi cast, yeah.
Nashi cast, okay.
All right. Well, that's going to bring us to our pick of the week. And Brian, I'll let you take it away because we both had the same one this week.
Oh, by the way, we just real quick, we did leave something out on the Queens of Evil set. They have a side-loaded slipcase with artwork, with limited edition only, and it's only limited to 1,800 copies. The limited edition version.
Okay, so grab that one if you can.
Yeah. So, but our pick of the week, of course, is I think we had to pick this just because I'm dying to see this. I can't wait to see this, and I know Tim feels the same way. And that's from Universal Studios, and it's Freaky from 2020, and it's of course the Vince Vaughn, Catherine Newton vehicle. After swapping bodies with a deranged serial killer, a young girl in high school discovers she has less than 24 hours before the change becomes permanent. And what a great horror twist on the classic Freaky Friday, vice versa, like father like son. what's the one, the hot chick, you know,
Oh
it's
yeah,
like
there's tons
it's
of
like
them.
the story that's been told a billion times, but now in a true cool horror way. It's what's his the guy that did Happy Death Day wrote this and directed it, right? Christopher Landon. So again, he took a genre and film, you know, like, you know, instead of Happy Death Day with Groundhog Day, he took basically Freaky Friday and made it, and he actually homaged it, the name and everything, to name it Freaky. And this one looks so good, just so much fun. I know that, and I've heard nothing but good things for this, so this is an automatic purchase, and I will watch this immediately as soon as it's available to watch.
Yeah, me too. All right, so let's recap the week of February 9th. We had Sputnik from 2020, Tourist Trap Uncut from 1979, Santo in the Treasure of Dracula, the Sexy Vampire from 1968, Naked Girl Killed in the Park from 1972, Panic Beats from 1983, a Paul Naschy vehicle, Queens of Evil from 1970, Devil's Express aka Gang Wars from 1976, Devil Times 5 from 1974, Blood Ceremony aka The Legend of Blood Castle from 1973, and our pick of the week, both Brian and I agreed, Freaky from 2020. We're highly looking forward to that one. That brings us to February 16th, and another Steelbook edition coming out this week that I didn't do full details on because it's just a Steelbook version. That's an American Werewolf in London.
I swear to God, I think this movie comes out on Steelbook every few months.
It probably does, yeah. So this one, we did differ on our picks of the week, so we only have two before we get to our picks of the week. And the first one up is from Code Red, and it is Slithis from 1978. Finally, nature unleashes its revenge. From the pollution of our nuclear waste came the killer we couldn't destroy. Our worst nightmares come to life with the terrifying scaly monster Slithis. First, this nuclear mutant killed household pets near the canals of Venice, California. Now it preys on old couples and a homeless rotund man sleeping in the public men's room.
Why is he so described?
That's oddly descriptive. Yeah. Two outcasts, a teacher, and a Jamaican sea hunter will take on the ugly monster to stop the slaughter. This mud monster creature is something out of those 50s classics we love. And I've always wanted to see this movie, and I think it's because of the box art. I've just always wanted to see this, and I may have to just track it down at some point. It looks terrible from the trailer, but I have to see it. It just looks
and the trailer's edited so awkwardly. It's just like random lines that don't, and clips from the movie that don't even like draw you into the story. Of course, it's mixed with stuff that does, but it's odd that they put some of those things in. And plus, I think what makes this so good is I love saying Slithis.
Yeah,
and so does the people do the people that created this movie, because they say it 100 times in there. And I want to know two things though: why they destroyed the family truckster. They literally threw it off the cliff there in one scene, and also the end looks like, I assume it's the end when they're on that boat, looks like an exact ripoff of Jaws, kind of a thing. But then apparently, like at the end, they tell you that when you went to go see this movie, you couldn't see it unless you got the Slithis survival kit. So I need to, of course, you know me, I'm like, that just, my ears perk up. I'm like, I gotta find this thing. So I Googled it, and I couldn't find anything. The closest thing I found was a song called Slithis Survival Kit by a band called Slithis Survival Kit. So I've reached a dead end in my Slithis Survival Kit search. However, I bet you if we were a lot kinder to the film historians, maybe one of them would locate it for me.
Yes. This one does not have any extras other than a trailer and the 2K restoration that was completed in 2017.
Yeah. Next one is again by Code Red, and this Mardi Gras Massacre from 1978. And the description for this is about as short as this trailer. Police try and capture someone who is committing ritual murders of women during Mardi Gras in New Orleans. But it, so I mean, the movie comes as a fully uncut version of the film. It's introduction by our hostess, Maria Kanellis. I'm not sure who that is. Interview with villain William Mezzo.
Is it like a villain in real life?
I know. Why is he like highlighted as villain? Like as now? Like is he just a bad dude that they like? I don't know. I think that's fine. Like when this poor guy goes around, he's like, do you think they like when he goes to parties they say, "Yo, villain, what's up?" Yeah. Or it's.
Is that his official job title, or what?
Yeah, I'd like to know what is the qualification of these days of a villain? I mean, other than
All right, so that brings us to our picks of the week. Mine was up first, and that is going to be a rare pick of the week for a television series, and I picked Warner Brothers' Lovecraft Country, the complete first season. Of course, this came out last year. A search for a missing father turns into an otherworldly trip. Based on the 2016 novel by Matt Ruff, this HBO drama series follows Korean war vet Atticus Freeman as he joins his friend Letitia and his uncle George on a journey across 1950s Jim Crow America in search of his father. What follows is a struggle to survive and overcome both the racist terrors of white America and the terrifying monsters that could be ripped from an H.P. Lovecraft paperback. I loved this novel. I loved the series. I thought they did a fantastic job. The series differs from the book in certain ways, but I love them both equally in different ways. So,
and plus, look who plays Letitia in this. Journey Smollett. Yeah,
exactly. She's fantastic in this. All of them are fantastic in this, and I really loved. One thing I really liked about this series is how it's shot. The cinematography is just beautiful. It uses these really bold, bright colors and stuff. I don't know. It just has a distinct look to it. When you guys watch it, pay attention to how it's shot. I just think it's just a gorgeously shot series.
How many episodes is there? Can I binge it in a quick session, or?
I wouldn't say a quick session. I think it's 10 episodes and they're about an hour a piece.
Okay.
But it's well worth it. It's really, really good. It stays interesting throughout, and all the episodes have their own. It's not their own story, but in the book, every chapter is kind of like its own story, and it's kind of that way in the series too. Like every episode is kind of feels like a self-contained story in a way, even though there's obviously threads running throughout. So I just absolutely loved it. I even listened to the podcast. They did a podcast. A couple of the writers did a podcast where they would go back and talk about each episode as it aired, which is really good.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I want to see it because it's nominated for for best show on the Chainsaw Awards. So I want to definitely see if I can get through it. So
yeah, obviously it's on HBO Max if you want to see it. So it does have some special features: a new compendium of horrors, new Arithia Blue and the Imagination of Diana Freeman, Crafting Lovecraft Country, Exploring Lovecraft Country, and Lovecraft Country: The Craft featurettes.
Okay. So let's see. The next one is my pick of the week, and that is The Unseen from Scorpion Releasing, 1980 movie. It says a trio of female reporters find themselves staying overnight in a house occupied by a hostile being known only as the Unseen. And this was I was excited because it was a Stephen Furst vehicle. Of course, Stephen Furst from Animal House, but of course, I know. My best friend Mark and, of course, Mr. Steve Cohn would know. We, of course, love him from as Harold in Midnight Madness, which, Tim, you still have to see.
Yeah, I've got to see that now.
Still need to see that movie, which is great. But anyway, this got a packed disc, and it is one of those ones where it's kind of like a cool trailer, cool disc and everything, so that's why I kind of went with it. And it's funny, Stephen Furst plays the Unseen as he's credited on IMDb. It's got a 2K restoration of the film with exclusive color correction completed in 2018. Audio commentary with producer Anthony B. Unger and actor Stephen Furst. So that's kind of cool, since he passed away a few years ago. Be nice to get him immortalized a bit there with his commentary. On-camera interview with editor John Braun. Cat's Eyes. On-camera interview with producer Tony Unger. Interviews with actors Stephen Furst and Doug Barr with makeup designers Craig Reardon and Tom Berman. It says makeup test slides, sketches, and behind-the-scenes stills from Craig Reardon's personal collection. Watch this in Katarina's Nightmare Theater with hostess Katarina Lee Waters. Not sure what that is, but that sounds kind of cool. Sounds like a cool Joe Bobby type of show or something.
Mm-hmm.
And it comes with a theatrical trailer.
Very nice. All right, so we to recap the week of February 16th, just 4 releases this week. We had Slithus from 1978, Mardi Gras Massacre from 1978, my pick of the week, Lovecraft Country, the complete first season, and Brian's pick of the week, The Unseen from 1980. That brings us to the last week of February, a short week, February 23rd, and we're going to kick things off. Another 4 releases here. We're going to kick things off with an Arrow release, Shogun's Joy of Torture from 1968. Wow. And the Joy of Torture is an anthology that is made up of 3 separate stories that all intersect. First segment is about Shinza, who was hurt while working when a log hit him on the head, and now Sister Mitsu is forced to
Why am I laughing at that?
I know, is forced to give herself to her brother's boss, Mr. Mino, in order to help pay for Shinza's doctor bills. The second segment is about the arrival of Mother Reiho and her servant Rentoku at the Jukuin Monastery. The monastery is located near a temple inhabited by priests, and one day when one of them, named Shunkai, runs by Reiho, he arouses something inside of her. The final segment is about a tattoo artist named Horicho, who has just given Kamicho his greatest tattoo to date. While showing his work off to a group of people, a man named Lord Nambera walks by, mocking the tattoo and its lack of realism. I did not get anything like that from this trailer.
I didn't even know it was an anthology based on the trailer.
This is a lot of naked women getting tortured. To me, it was a little much. I don't think I could watch this. It literally was like a lot of naked women getting tortured in different various ways. Although I will have to say, there's one really cool torture, which was they tied him upside down on a crucifix and then like stuck him in the sand and let the tide roll in, so they slowly drown. It's kind of like a reversal of the thing in Creepshow.
Yeah, like water zombies.
Yeah, but it was upside down drowning, which is like even worse. It was really kind of disturbing. So this is a hard pass for me. I don't want to see naked women getting tortured.
Yeah, they had some other weird things in there. Like they had one torturing thing, which apparently was tattooing Gargamel on a woman's ass. But I don't know what that was going to do. I don't know if that was just he's having fun. But it also had a weird scene of boob scrubbing foo in it. So I'm not sure what that was all about either.
Yeah, lots of boobs. This one does have quite a bit of extras. It has the high-def 1080p presentation, the original uncompressed mono audio, optional English subtitles. Those are the technical specs. Audio commentary by Japanese cinema expert Tom Mez?
Well, do you know about him, Tim?
I don't know about him. He must be new.
Yeah, he is. So basically his last name used to be spelled Mess, but he left the last F's off for sweeping, as in reality he's quite tidy. And he doesn't want people to assume otherwise. But the funniest thing is his greatest pet peeve is when he introduces himself quickly and people reply, and your name is Thomas? Your last name Thomas is?
Yeah,
Thomas.
I'm
because he says, "Hi, I'm Thomas," and they say, "Yeah, and then they question his last name." So yeah, he's got a lot of things going on there. He's got a lot of misrepresentations. I think that's why he just shortened his S. So now his shortened last name stands out.
Oh my gosh. Okay. All right, got that, Cody.
Yeah.
Continuing on.
Sorry to be like, can I get a transcript of this episode for that one?
Teruo Ishii, erotic grotesque maestro, in an exclusively newly filmed interview with the author Patrick Macias.
Now that is a title to have.
Erotic
grotesque maestro. Like you're the leader of all the other erotic grotesque band. It's like.
Bind Torture Thrill, author and critic Jasper Sharp discusses the history of torture in Japanese exploitation cinema. Original trailer, image gallery, reversible sleeve featuring original and newly commissioned artwork by Jacob Phillips, and a first pressing only illustrated collector's booklet featuring new writing on the film by Mark Schilling.
Actually, Tim, since I know you're kind of going through, right? You're going through all the Seinfeld still?
Yep.
All right, did you get to the episode with the maestro yet?
No, I'm well aware of that episode, but I haven't gotten to it yet.
Yeah, that one's such a classic one with the maestro, and he appears several times throughout the series. But it's just great that you can know. It's like leave it to Seinfeld, like one of those things where you hear the word maestro and you automatically think of that show.
Yep.
Next one up, this one looks really cool. It's called Plague Town. It's by Severin Films, 2008. Actually, I don't know why I've never even heard of this. It seems like something we should have known about. It says it's a dysfunctional family goes on vacation and discovers even more dysfunctional Irish town full of zombies. Yeah, zombies always kind of make a town dysfunctional, I have to say.
Yeah.
I mean, have you ever met one a zombie town that's like just running orderly?
I've never seen a functional zombie-filled town.
Yeah. I don't think it exists anymore, Maybe back in the day. Now it just... But it looks really cool. It comes with a uncensored presentation of the film. Audio commentary with director David Gregory and producer Derek Curl, which, of course, every time I see that, I think of that whole sequence of Superman 2 with John Ratzenberger. Remember? He goes, "Girl." I thought he said curl. What's a curl? That whole... Okay, never mind. I'm off topic. White Lace and Button Eyes, the making... David Weiner will appreciate that. I know if he's listening to that. He knows Superman 2 well. Okay, anyway, White Lace and Button Eyes, the making of Plague Town by documentary filmmaker Howard S. Berger. Oh, he snuck in there.
Oh yeah, he snuck it.
He's a film historian, but he's right now he's a documentary filmmaker, so he doesn't get his.
He doesn't get a description there.
Yeah, no, he can. He's just Howard Asperger. Visit to Plague Town. Visit the scene. I don't know why it sounds funny. Behind the scenes, it's just like, can you imagine like a visit to Plague Town? It just sounds like a weird like off Broadway like production, doesn't it?
I feel like our entire lives the past year have been a visit to Plague Town.
Yeah, really, seriously, you're right. It's like pretty much going down the block these days. Sadly. Trailer and short films, Scathed Until Death.
Cool. All right.
That's a good bonus disc there.
So next up we have the Attic Expeditions. I forgot to put who the Blu-ray producer was for this one, but I'll read the description. It's from 2001. When Trevor Blackburn awakens from a coma, he has no memory of his past. In search of answers, he breaks into the secret attic with another patient, Seth Green, Austin Powers 1 through 3.
That's all he's known for.
I still know him from Buffy. That's where I originally knew him.
I know him from Can't Buy Me Love.
Oh, there you go. As the others are being killed one by one, a darkly sinister doctor, Jeffrey Combs, TV's Enterprise, Beyond Reanimator. I don't know
really? Those are the two?
Yeah, Beyond Reanimator. Just do
Not
Reanimator.
How about Reanimator and Castle Freak? Jeez.
Yeah. Informed that he'd been committed to a sanitarium for the criminally insane for the sacrificial murder of his fiancée.
Yeah.
Thrown into a bizarre halfway house filled with strange psychos, his thin grip on reality begins to slip away as he plunges into a violent world of magic, nightmares, wild sexual escapades, and torturous medical experiments. What do you believe? What's in your wallet? Seth Green and Jeffrey Combs, Ted Raimi. I mean, it does have some cast cred, you have to admit there, Brian. It does.
And our buddy Jeremy Kasdan directed this. It's one of his
there you
vehicles.
go. Cool.
Yeah,
cool.
So.
I didn't pick up on that when I was going through this.
Yeah, that's cool. That's always we know we love his stuff, so you got to watch that.
Yeah, this has a cast and crew 20-year pandemic reunion and story of making.
Isn't that everybody right now? Jeez. Anytime you meet somebody, you're having a pandemic reunion. Sadly.
The story of making the Attic Expeditions, featuring Jeremy Kasdan, Seth Green, Jeffrey Combs, Tim Heidecker, and many more. Alice Cooper and Jeffrey Combs' internet reunion. That sounds really cool.
That feature alone should be worth the disc.
Yeah, and horror scholar Adam Rockoff contextualizes the Attic Expeditions. Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah. Does that count as a? That almost counts as a film historian, kind of. I guess a horror scholar.
Yeah,
but,
that's close.
But we didn't prepare, so next time. Well, that brings us to our final pick of the week. Tim and I agreed on it, and when you hear, I think you'll have to agree with us. Severin Films, again, it's Castle of the Creeping Flesh from 1968. In an ancient castle, a mad scientist is trying to revive his dead daughter by an operation, but there are certain body parts he needs that he can't get. He was struggling to find her shoulder. Spoiler alert. Okay, no. His problem is solved when a group of young partygoers stumble into his castle. Yeah, this was cool, but there's one sequence I don't get it. This guy walks out and he goes, "I am the Earl of Saxon." So does he just? It seems oddly descriptive, I guess. You know, I mean, he's just trying to say that he's not barefoot. I don't know.
I don't know.
But yeah, and there's a lot of bubes in this trailer, and
tons
the film
of
soundtrack.
Bubes,
yeah, and the film soundtrack kind of sounds like someone's playing one of those old electric organs, you know, that you'd see, you know, with the that weird like sound. Yeah, so.
Yeah, this is one of those that, I mean, this is your typical cheesy, blood-soaked 60s boob fest. That's what this is. So
it totally is.
Whenever, I'm going to tell you guys before, a little secret, I guess, but when I pick my pick of the week, if there's not one that's like a complete standout, either because it's just a really good movie or it's got a really good packed extras, if I have to keep going down the line to what my default is and I haven't seen any of the other movies, I'm going to almost always default to the 60s and 70s blood-soaked boob fest. That's just me. I'm going to default there. So that's why
you can't blame you.
No, they're always entertaining. I've never seen one or bought one on Blu-ray that I wasn't entertained by the disc. So that's why I'm always going to go there.
I mean, you got to kind of have some kind of default go-to when there's so many choices sometimes. So yeah. I get it. Well, this disc actually is pretty good though. It's kind of got a big packed little group of features here. It's got Adrian in the Castle, A Bloody Lust, archival interview with Joyce Hoven and Percy Hoven. It's got Mark of the Devil Q&A with the Hoven family at Australian Pulp Film Fest. Oh, sorry, Austrian Pulp Film Fest. It's a big difference.
Quite a bit of difference.
Quite a bit of difference. It's got a locations featurette, which obviously I need to watch. Maybe I'll learn how to describe this. Trailers, English, German, alt title, Appointment with Lust. Not sure what that is, but anyway, a textless opening credits sequence. So that means put down your phones. You're not allowed to text during that. And then a German opening credit sequence. So it's got some weird features there, never before described. But
yeah, well, that's it. That's it for February. So we had Shogun's Joy of Torture from 1968. They apparently did take joy in showing the torture from that trailer.
Yeah, anyway. way too much.
Plague Town from 2008, The Attic Expeditions from 2001, and both Brian and I picked Severin Films' Castle of the Creeping Flesh from 1968 as our pick of the week. That will wrap us up for February. Of course, we thank you guys for listening. These Discmemberments are always a lot of fun, and we usually get pretty good feedback on them. I guess you guys out there that collect Blu-rays enjoy getting these rundowns. We will continue to make them as long as you continue to listen to them, and as long as people keep buying Blu-rays. We'll be back here next month to go run through all of the March releases. So we're already getting into spring. It seems crazy, but
it's nuts. And actually, to echo Tim's sentiment, we'll keep doing them too until we get censured by the Film Historian Society.
Yes,
when they stop wanting us to talk.
Yeah, there you go. All right, guys, take care. We'll see you back here next week with a brand new episode of Civil War, and next month with a brand new Discmemberment. See you later.
Have a good one.